Huanfeng on the Senna, on the Yasuo, so we're going to have a little bit of a swap up in terms of the actual carries. We do expect it to be the fasting Senna and, of course, the farming Yasuo. I will say, I do love in those angles, you get to see, like, you know, obviously it looks all very clean right now. You see the gold popping up, but then you notice when you go down to, like, that level, the minions just, like, die and explode into gold. And speaking of exploding, oh no, Dagda, they put down the exhaust on the Huanfeng. They want to try and slow him down. The heal comes out to try and speed up Light. They're going to jump down on top of Huanfeng. He's got nowhere to go, nowhere to be. First blood LNG, and oh my lord, it's not going to end well, is it?
Now, this is something you need to be prepared for when up against the Trundle, especially Tarzan's Trundle.
He does 3 minutes, and now WBG moving themselves up. Tarzan, though, might be able to try and catch him between a rock and a hard place. He flashes over the CC, and they're going to jump down on top of On, who has nowhere to go, nowhere to be. And On, you may have played 3 games of Yasuo, but you're going to be dead after this one here. Tarzan will get him down with the subjugate, and that just comes from the proactivity of the LNG jump. Flashes over the CC and just puts himself in such a smart position. Now Huanfeng has no flash, but they do land the CC on top of him. The last chapter will root him in place, and he will be taken out. Tarzan with another kill to his Talia. Flash in, though, from SofM. The Cyclone comes out. They do get the last breath. That's a good wind wall, though, to try and stop any of the damage from turning back onto this. Tarzan almost survives. Eventually, he does go down, so it's another 3v3 in the bot side. The Yasuo has fallen. Light trying to jump down on top of SofM as he falls. Now Angel, with one last Spirit Rush, is still doing work. Angel versus the world. The Angel of Death has finally arrived, and a triple kill for the WBG mid laner.
Finally, WBG finds some response to LNG's early game, and it comes
This
from
is where it can become a little bit dangerous for the LNG AD card.
This Ahri's doing damage right now. We do see the smite coming out from Tarzan. We'll have another one in about 15 seconds, but here comes the Cyclone back out onto the map, and they're just kind of running straight down the throat of LNG because they know that their mid laner is so damn strong, they can make everything and anything work.
Like though,
Skill that goes over, gives those resets, gets more Spirit Rushes going, and now SofM in a fantastic position to be able to kind of force the issue here in mid lane. Tarzan, they're going to run straight in on top of him. We'll be able to try and trade this one back as he, fails the flash. He does get it over the wall, though, as we can see the Senna just finally finishing that one off with the Dawning Shadow. And this is really good play from WBG. They're just putting themselves in position.
then get more gold that can get him into a good spot. And there's no one who can really respond right now, although Light will have found him.
No, he will have found him. On will get slowed up by that W. The exhaust comes out. He flashes away, but he's going to be chased over the wall. Light will pick up that kill. While that's happening, though, ឍlooking like he can maybe go for a fight here. And that 3-man W means that SofM is almost taken out. And that was very...
You've got On who's able to push in the spot side, but maybe in trouble.
Oh no, On your final chapter here. Doesn't quite sun him up just yet. He's going to put out the last breath. The final chapter, the last breath. He's doing a decent job, but he's actually not doing any damage. He just survived for a little bit of a while because he hasn't got any kind of items right now. So he's going to have to sacrifice that. The Rift
talking about.
Here we go. You're going to have damage go down onto Ala, but with the Yuumi, you could heal it back up. You've got so much sustain here. No Ghost for Light just yet, and you're still waiting on Flash for On. Apart from that, everyone's got summoners across the board. This is Soul Point now. This is WBG looking to get themselves a big advantage and maybe back into this series. Remember, they are 0-2 down. They have to look for a big fight. They have to look for a big engage.
I mean, this is the front to back that LNG want, though. As long as Ala's able to play forward and Light stays safe, you need to keep your eyes on SofM. Can he get access to the LNG AD carry?
Shy pops the Dominus. They go in. They're going to try and maybe 50-50 this, and there's Soul going over to the side of WBG. Now, do you look for the fight? Yes, you absolutely do. The Dawning Shadow, the Cyclone, the final chapter, though, from Light means that he's still untouched, but he's not quite able to get the consistent damage. And WBG are not dead yet, Dagda. They pick up the kills, and they pick up the Dragon Soul as well.
Everyone except for the bot lane falls in LNG side, and WBG, they're keeping themselves alive. Especially with that Spirit Rush, it's very hard for anyone in LNG to lock him down.
Again, yes, Light was untouched in that fight. He was able to do it, but again, because, like you said, he went for that pit stop with the Quicksilver Sash, it means he wasn't quite at his Infinity Edge. He's not quite at that big 3-item Zeri that we have seen have so many pentakills throughout every region of the world. And now LNG, they're still not quite out of this one just yet, but they have to try and find opportunities outside of this one. As I say that, they're going to look for one right here. ΔUNB going to go straight in onto the Shy. Still has access to the Shroud should he need it, but there's going to be the TP coming in on the backside of this one here. The final chapter doesn't really do a lot. They're going to jump in on top of the Renekton. They need to try and kill him off as soon as they can. Shut down over to the Zeri, and that's going to slow down a little bit this one. I love the fact that Ala was in top side to try and stop that TP.
You can't stop Angel, though. He's gone. The Liandry's
keep them alive in this series, and don't forget, they chose chose side selection in game 1, they chose red. They lost in game 1, then they chose again. They chose red again. It's showing the power of blue side, the flexibility it gives you your team. As we can see now, ďuunB and Angel trying to go toe-to-toe on this top side, but you can't really do a lot here as the Shy gets caught out as well. They're just trying to hit him over the wall. The Zeri's in a great position. SofM is there, and the W lands. That's going to be another kill going over to Light, and the Zeri is starting to take over, Dagda.
Zeri's looking real good, and we said that this was going to be an issue. If you cannot
yes,
get
he
on
has got a little bit of extra magic resistance coming out from his Mythic, but not really significant to kind of keep him there. The Elder has spawned, and there's no real vision control here for the side of LNG. They need to try and walk in blind. You can see they're a little bit desperate to go for this because they don't know what's happening, and then it's going to be a fight on two fronts. Ala tries to use his ultimate to get away, but he's got nowhere to go, and he's taken out. Your big, beefy front line is no longer here. Angel flashes forward, jumping on a ďuunB as he goes into stasis. The Zeri still looking very, very strong right now. The Dawning Shadow not quite to finish off ďuunB as he flashes away. Light still keeping himself relevant, but the Weibo are the ones pushing forward.
There's no engage left for Weibo, though, to actually deal with Light if he could get into position, but LNG, they don't feel like they can do it. I mean, ďuunB on the reset.
They're going to look to Tarzan, though. They know they don't want to flip this one. Tarzan is dead. It will no longer be a flip. Huanfeng gets out, and he does have a QSN. You do lose a middle inhibitor, but for the moment, gold doesn't really make a difference. Structures don't really make that much of a damn, because right now it's all about defending your base. As LNG, they're pinned right up against their Nexus.
With Baron there, with Elder there, it's going to make it so difficult for you to try and fight this. 50 seconds, and Weibo know it. They want to try and close out this game.
Yeah, they got to do it now. They got to do it within the next minute because they know they have the Elder. You can see those little lines, the execution bar, if you will, coming in here. The minions are doing their work, as is this Senna, who's finally getting up to that absolutely insane level of stacks. Here we go. Ala tries to jump in on the backside. It's a bit of a last-ditch effort as Light jumps onto the Shy, but Shy says, no, I jump onto you, as they end up disengaging the fight. You got Zeri lanked up, but not able to do anything else. Weibo find an opportunity. They get all the buffs they could possibly need, and they keep themselves alive in playoffs.
Weibo wake up in Game 3. They will march forward to a 2-1. A long road ahead of them. You can see it on the Shy's face that Weibo know it, but they're one step closer to finding this win over LNG.